My favorite nothing to something team this season is the Patriots. There's a lot of things to like, and I'm not going to be unrealistic with them. There are obviously still holes. Like, this team won what? 3-4 games last year? I don't expect them to make that Washington Commanders leap and be in the AFC Conference Championship. Like, I'm not going to be unrealistic, but I do think that the playoffs are an option. I truly do. I think that the playoffs aren't too far out of reach for this Patriots team. Don't count the Patriots out. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, do me a favor, don't count them out. Free agency on defense. Harold Landry, who's had multiple 10-plus sack seasons, coming off a 9-sack season in Tennessee. He's a proven veteran pass rusher. Exactly what they need. Milton Williams, breakout 2025 season with a huge Super Bowl performance, which probably got him the contract. Now, you ask a lot of people if they knew the Milton Williams name prior to the Super Bowl, maybe not. But if you trust Howie Roseman and his draft class, you should love Milton Williams. And everyone should trust Howie Roseman. Maybe they overpaid him just a little bit, for sure. I'm not going to deny. Obviously, like I said, I'm not in love with everything in New England. But at the end of the day, Milton Williams, out of a Howie Roseman draft class in Philly, that's a recipe for success. And then obviously, Robert Spillane ranked 3rd in run defense grade last year. Exactly what the Patriots needed. They suffered in the run game last year. They needed a defense that could stop the run. Just didn't work out. They bring in Robert Spillane. He'll help with that. With the linebackers, the front seven has vastly improved when you compare last year's and this year's front seven for the Patriots. And then obviously Carlton Davis, who will provide that security blanket up on the opposing side of Christian Gonzalez. So that's all great, right? The free agency additions. But oftentimes we look at seasons at a statistical standpoint, and the Patriots obviously suffered last year, right? But what's the why? Why did they suffer? Well, first of all, they had a first-time head coach, Gerard Mayo, which it just wasn't working out. I didn't appreciate that the way they handled the situation, right? They kind of just booted him out. But with that being said, he wasn't prepared for a head coach role. Shouldn't have put him there in the first place. Mike Vrabel was obviously the guy they were going after. But the big reason the run game suffered and was so bad last year, they were missing Christian Barmore for the entire season. He had 8.5 sacks in 2023 and only played 4 games last year. Pardon me, Christian Barmore. They were missing Christian Barmore last year. So, again, these are big-name guys that you expect and you prepare as a head coach to have in your lineup, and when they're out and when you don't have them to your availability, it's like, okay, we're going to suffer a little bit. So picture this, right? Christian Barmore, Milton Williams on the interior of the defensive line, Robert Spillane. They clearly went out, adjusted, and made additions to help out this run game, to help out the run defense, and help clog up the middle with a few big interior defensive linemen and a veteran linebacker that can get the job done. And on top of that, obviously, you got Vrabel, who came in, defensive mind, used to play for the team. He's got the new mentality set up for the team. Carlton Davis, Christian Gonzalez. There are pieces on this defense that you can really, really fall in love with. I think the defense returns to top 10 form this season. And, you know, I encourage you to stop looking at last year so much and look at the improvements of this season that the Patriots made. And, you know, the addition of Mike Vrabel, don't let that fly under the radar either for this defense. It is huge. I think this defense will take massive strides this year, and they fall into that top 10 conversation for me. Offensively is where you have your concerns. For me, every single offensive position on the Patriots experienced an upgrade this offseason, okay? Stephon Diggs is the biggest weapon the Patriots have had since Gronk with Tom Brady. He is, okay? And again, it all starts with Drake May. This isn't the Stephon Diggs show unless Drake May can show up. But listen, Drake May has so much promise in his future and he's a versatile quarterback, right? I had Deshaun actually mention to me he reminds him of a baby Josh Allen, and when you look at how he plays in his stats, it kind of mirrors Josh Allen, who was the MVP last season. 420 yards on the ground last year through 12 games. He had a monster yards per carry, and I believe he only had one designed run. He makes things happen on the ground through the air. He has a great arm, and his stats, considering the players he played with, considering the situation in New England that he was thrusted into, they were really, really solid. And like I said, I thought every position group experienced an upgrade, whether that's running backs with Travion Henderson, receivers with Diggs, Mac Hollins, Kyle Williams in the draft, offensive line, they added a few big pieces. Again, the O-line should be able to put together some great running lanes for those running backs. Okay, I've heard some analysts of the team talk about how great, and they raved about the run blocking abilities of Will Campbell, Morgan Moses, and Mike Onwenu. It should be better than last season. Now, are we talking about a top 10, top 12, even top 15 offensive line? Maybe not. But even if it's in the low 20s, 21, 22, 23, that is an upgrade, and we can absolutely work with that. Especially considering their schedule. The Patriots might have the easiest schedule in the league, and they can take advantage of that next year and really capitalize and win 10, 11 games, I think. And then the biggest addition of them all, and I kind of hinted at it earlier on when I started this segment on the Pats, Mike Vrabel is in the building. A motivator, a mentor, and really an important presence that can rebuild the mentality of this team. Okay, he's really the most exciting part, driven by the mentality. Okay, go watch Will Campbell's pre-draft interview. That encapsulates what I expect this team's mentality to be moving forward. I think the Patriots have a great shot at the playoffs this year. I think they're primed for a breakout. And if I was to pick a nothing to something team, it's the New England Patriots this year. Watch out for them.